Hello and welcome to Rathod Science Academy. Today in this session we are going to see very important articles that appeared in our today's newspaper. First of all, I'll let you know important topics of the day, and later on we are going to see each and every topic from our prelims and as well as mains perspective, and even I'll let you know how questions can be asked from that so and so topic in different ways, and at last I'll be giving you prelims practice questions as well, so that you can understand how questions can be formed from that area. Okay, now let us see the topics of the day. The first topic is India-US draw up deal on rare earth elements. This article is talking about agreement or deal between India and US, and it is related to rare earth elements. In 2026 paper, there is a question on rare earth metals. Because of this, you have to know some basic facts regarding what exactly are these rare earth elements, and now you have to see what is this deal is between India and US and why India and US came up with this deal now, and what is the impact of this deal in India. So you have to see all these dimensions, and this topic is important from both your prelims and as well as mains. And next topic is Gurugram sex ratio dips to 862. DC orders intensified campaign against illegal sex determination. So here this article is talking about one important keyword called as sex ratio. First of all, you have to know what exactly is that sex ratio. You may get a question on that. Which of the following option correctly describes sex ratio? And they will give you A, B, C, D options. And you have to identify what is the right option. And next one here is, there is one act which is related to sex determination. So that is called as PNDT Act. So here you have to know about some details about that act. Okay, and now you have to see what is the impact of decrease of sex ratio. That will be your mains based question. And this topic is important from your governance from GS paper 2. And next topic is give prosecution immunity to Chambal guards, says Supreme Court. As we all know that illegal sand mining is happening in this Chambal river area. Because of that, it is affecting conservation of which animal species? Gharials. Right, now here there are certain forest guards who are guarding this area to prevent illegal sand mining, but they are not having any immunity. So now Supreme Court is saying that we have to increase protection and immunity for this Chambal guards who are guarding this National Chambal Sanctuary. And this topic is important from your environment and ecology. And next article is scoreboard. The CBSE was ill prepared for examination reforms it undertook. As we all know that NEET paper leak happened, right? So because of this, they cancelled entire this NEET examination. NEET is an entrance examination for which course? MBBS, medicine, right? So there is a paper leak. So because of this, now there are many articles from that day onwards in our paper related to which kind of measures we have to take to control this kind of events in future. And on this, in 2024, there was a question in mains. Okay, so here you have to see that again you may get a question in mains related to this paper leak this year in your mains. And this topic is important from governance from GS paper 2. And next topic is Rajya Sabha defections, constitutional questions. You know, recently we discussed many articles, even in yesterday's class also we discussed about one key term called as horse trading. So again there are articles related to this, anti-defection law, disqualification of MLAs and MPs again in news. Here we have to see some basic facts regarding what is this anti-defection law, that's it. And this topic is important from GS paper 2 on the polity. Okay, see this title guys. Read out the title. India and US draw up deal on rare earth elements. Okay, the first keyword here is rare earth elements, and second keyword is India-US relations. These two, apart from that, here you have to know about Quad. What is Quad? Quadrilateral Security Dialogue. And it is one important grouping. As you all know that groupings, regional or international, will be important for prelims. This time there was a question on BIMSTEC. Last time there was question on again BIMSTEC, and this year 2026 in prelims they asked about European Union, and what they asked, they gave countries and they asked which of the above are part of European Union. That means whenever you are seeing any groupings or any summit of that groupings, you need to know facts for sure, and this time you have to know about what? Quad. So what is Quad? Quad is informal. It is not at all a formal. It is informal grouping of 4 countries. Which are those 4 countries? India, US, Japan, Australia. So these are the countries which are part of this Quad. And now Quad summit is going on. Quad meeting is going on. In that meeting, India and US finalized a deal. And this deal is about rare earth elements. Now you guys, you have to recall something called as Pax Silica. Have you heard this Pax Silica? Yes, what is Pax Silica? It is US-led grouping. What it is focusing on? It is focusing on ensuring of supply of critical minerals and rare earth elements, right? And even India joined or not? Yes, India joined after our Republic Day. That is on 27/2026, India joined that Pax Silica. Right? Okay. And that Pax Silica is about rare earth elements. So because of this, obviously, we will focus on deal between India and US related to this rare earth elements because India joined this Pax Silica. Okay. And one more important area you have to see is Pax Silica. Actually, we expected there will be a question on Pax Silica, but unfortunately, there is no question. That means next year you may get a question on this Pax Silica in prelims. Okay, please make note of this Pax Silica and keep star mark. Okay, now let us see this article clearly, what exactly this deal is about. Okay, if you see the context, it says that India and US signed a framework on securing supply of critical minerals and rare earth elements on the sidelines of 11th Quad meeting. So 11th Quad meeting is going on in New Delhi. On sidelines of this meet, India and US signed this. It is related to critical minerals and as well as rare earth metals. Okay, and now why we came up with this deal? What are the reasons? The first one is which country is dominant in export of this rare earth metals and critical minerals? Obviously China, right? That means Chinese dominance is happening in this sector. So here we have to control that dominance. Actually 60 to 90% of critical minerals and rare earth metals, they are dominated by this China. So because of this, we want to impose restrictions on exports and as well as strategic metals, everything. So because of this, we came up with this deal. And next one here is we have to go for strategic diversification. Both countries, they want to reduce the reliance on single source monopolies. That means they want to reduce the monopoly of China. And next one here is we want to increase cooperation in this Indo-Pacific region, especially if we want to increase security, if we want to increase technology, everything. Obviously, we need rare earth metals. Without rare earth metals, we cannot go for improvement of our technology. For that reason also, yes, we need partnership between India and US related to rare earth metals. And this one is these metals are very important for AI, robotics, batteries, turbines, advanced magnets, defense system, clean energy transition. So for all these advancements, technology, we need this. For sure, we need to ensure the proper supply of this rare earth elements. So for that reason, yes, India and US came up with this deal. Okay, what are the features of this deal? You have to know this. Okay, how you can get a mains question? Recently, India-US signed a deal related to rare earth elements. In this context, explain the features and impacts of this deal in India in future. So like that, UPSC can ask a question on features, and next one is what are the advantages or what are the challenges or to suggest measures. If they are asking any question mains, they will be asking only this. What is that? What are the features, advantages, disadvantages and challenges? So you have to know that. So you have to write in wide way, like you should not go in a narrow minded. So you have to think in different dimensions and you have to write answer in different times. That is about your mains. But prelims is you have to memorize some facts and you have to try to eliminate the statements. That is your prelim strategy. But mains is like you have to think somewhat deep. And whenever you're starting your mains answer it, then only you'll get analysis points. With that analysis point, you will be eliminating the statements in prelims. Unless and until if you start your mains, you cannot do your prelims. Okay, so don't read isolatedly. So whenever you are reading anything, you have to do your preparation, both prelims and mains, both together. You should not divide them and you should not prepare them. Okay, now let us see the features. The first one is you are focusing on joint investments, technology sharing and infrastructure development related to what? Mining of rare earth metals and as well as processing of rare earth metals. And next one is you are focusing on recycling and sustainable management of scrap related to this rare earth metals. As you all know that electronics, if new things are coming on, we will be trying to discard our old equipments. So because of this, what happens? Scrap will be increasing. So we have to properly recycle that scrap also. So if you are properly recycling that scrap, then what happens? The need of new rare earth metals will be reduced because we are recycling, and even waste will be reduced. That will lead to which economy? Circular economy. Are you understanding? And this one is India is having significant rare earth element reserves, especially in beach sands of Odisha, Kerala, AP. Okay, so we have to use that we have to use the technology so that we can mine that. Actually, the problem in India is we don't have technology to get them back. So now US will be helping in that regard. And this one is US will bring finance and as well as technology and even market access for our India's rare earth elements. So these are the important points which are there in our deal. And now let us see the facts related to rare earth elements. If you say 2026 paper, do you have paper, ma? Open that question. I will read out the question of 2026 related to rare earth elements. Just a second, guys. They gave a statement related to number of rare earth elements. You know periodic table, right? P block, S block, D block, F block. So here in our periodic table, lanthanide series comes under rare earth elements. So I'll read out the question, guys. So please see the question. First, they gave in this way. Which of the following statements about rare earth elements and critical minerals are correct? Is that related to this topic only? Yes, rare earth elements and critical minerals are correct. First statement they gave is modern technological innovations including AI, robotics and space exploration extensively utilize rare earth elements. Yes or no? So I said this point. Why we need wind turbines? This point, AI, robotics, batteries, they need REE, that is rare earth elements. Yes, this first statement is right. And second one is China has the highest share in mining of REEs. That is the second statement. And next one is the government of India launched National Critical Mineral Mission in 2025 to establish a robust framework for self-reliance of critical minerals. Yes, India launched this critical mineral mission for what? To become self-reliance. And next one is rare earth elements are a set of 13 metallic elements. 13 is not. In lanthanides we have how many? 17. They miss this number. So if you eliminate that, then you can come with the answer. Are you understanding here? And even in the second statement they gave, China has the highest share in mining of REEs followed by India. India is not having that technology. So you can also eliminate the second statement. So answer will be 1 and 3. So like that you have to see where UPSC makes the trap. I already said numbers maximum will be wrong. Are you understanding here? If you have remember this periodic table that you might have studied in your intermediate, then you might be doing this. But I know our memory is very bad. But we have to use this traps like number obviously will wrong, and we have to eliminate that statement. Okay, it is not about you have to remember everything. Everything should come under your memory. Okay, are you understanding? So you have to do in this way, guys. If you are reading something, you have to read clearly, and you have to know until which depth you have to study and until which wide you have to study. So how will you know that? By doing this PYQs only. Don't neglect PYQs. Okay, today I will be taking class 2:30 to 5:30. Okay, see here how many rare earth elements we have? 17 rare earth metals, and they'll comes under group 3 of periodic table. That is nothing but lanthanides. Okay, we have S block, P block, D block, F block, right? So we have this lanthanides, they comes under this rare earth elements, and we have 17 rare earth elements. Okay, and next if you see the characteristics, on this characteristics also next time UPSC may ask a question. They are having very high density, and they have high melting point, high conductivity, and high thermal conductance. Rare earth elements are having +3, you know, +1, +2, +3, noble, or like this gases, inert gases will be having 0. So here they will be having +3, and they are important for technology, clean energy, high-end electronics, defense, AI, etc. because they are not having any substitutes. We cannot substitute these elements with any other. Okay. So these are the things that you have to remember, and say this next, guys. Read out this. Gurugram sex ratio dips to 862. DC orders intensified campaign against illegal sex determination. Okay. So here what is sex ratio? Tell me, guys. What is sex ratio? How many sex we have? Like how many genders we have? Male and female. Now tell me, guys, what is the sex ratio is about? The number of males for females. Number of females for 1000 males is called as sex ratio. And what does it mean? 862 means how many males are there? How many females are there? Females are 862 and males are 1000. That means which female population is less or male population is less? Female population is less. Why female population is less? They gave one more hint. Illegal sex determination. What is illegal sex determination? What is illegal sex determination? What does it mean? Whenever woman is pregnant after 5 months, especially whenever she enter into this 5 months, if we are going for ultrasound, that is nothing but scanning, then we can identify whether baby is male or female. So if they comes to know that woman is carrying a female fetus, they'll go for abortion. If male means they'll be very happy. Yes. So that kind of sex identified, and they are going for sex related abortions, then that is called as illegal sex determination, and that concept is called as female feticide. Have you understood? Female feticide is nothing but killing of girl child inside the womb of mother is called as female feticide. If they are targeting female, especially girl, and if they are killing, then what happen? Obviously girls percentage will be, or girls population will be less, and sex ratio will be less. So now this article is saying about DC. DC means district collector. Now here, because of reducing of sex ratio in that so and so area, now district collector is giving orders for campaigning against sex, illegal sex determination. That means, can you see there is your role also? This article is talking about your role also. Now you guys tell me, if you are going for this sex determination and if you are killing a girl child, girl fetus, is that ethical? It is also unethical, right? And even in your paper of prelims, you can see 4 ethics related questions. In that also you may get this kind of case studies, and they will be asking you which kind of decision. They are called as decision making questions. You will also get decision making questions in your prelims. That is there in 2026. In 2027 also you may get that kind of questions. That means you have to see ethics from both your mains and as well as prelims point of view. You should not think only from mains. Okay, even though that is not there in the syllabus of prelims, this time they gave. That means next time they may give 10 questions or 15 questions. Why they are asking questions of ethics in prelims? Because as you know, our system is most corrupted. Yes, because of this, they want to screen you that which kind of decision you will take at this first stage itself. So because of this, they are giving questions, and UPSC always give hints. Like next year, how the question paper will be. This time they added 4 ethics questions. That means next time there will be 6 to 7 ethics based questions. And this time they added 2 or 3 new option based questions. Next time that new option based questions will be 10 to 15. You must not be shocked. Okay, so here always you have to say at least before your paper how it is, and accordingly you have to tune your preparation. Okay. Yeah, now let us see this article. So there is one act called as PNDT Act. You have to know about that PNDT Act. I will tell you what is that. Okay, now here this article is saying that we have to take strict orders on this PNDT Act. That means this PNDT Act says that we should not reveal the sex during this pregnancy. If you go to any hospital which is doing this kind of ultrasound for pregnancy people, there will be a big board. Don't ask sex of the baby. It is illegal. It is a punishable offense. Like that they will be keeping some signboards. But even though illegally it is happening, it is not legal in India, but illegally it is happening, right? Why this illegal sex determination is happening in our country? Because of a concept. What is that concept? Son meta preference. That concept is called as son meta preference. In our Indian families, they will give more priority for a boy rather than a girl. Yes. And why there is more priority is given to boy? Because the boy will be doing the final rights of the parents. And this one here is in this succession, further property is given to son. So because of these two reasons, now we have this concept called as son meta preference. Okay. So because of the son meta preference, female feticide and illegal sex determination will happen in our country. Because of this, it is affecting sex ratio. Okay, now tell me guys, you know about sex ratio. Okay, now tell me guys, what happens if there is low child sex ratio? If there is low sex ratio, in this case, it is 862. That means for every 1000 males, we have only 862 females. What will happen in future? What will happen? Do boys get equal? Do boys get the girls to get married? No. Then they have to go for polygamy. 2 men have to marry 1 girl. Is that happens or not? Especially in some tribals, this kind of polygamy is there. 1 male will marry 2 male will be married, 2 or more males will be marrying 1 woman, and they will be living together. That kind of stories you will be learning in anthropology. That is quite common in tribals because of low sex ratio. Next, what about crimes? Triple love stories, triangle love stories can happen. Yes. So because of that, crime rate increases or decreases? Obviously increases. And next, that will lead to increased violence in our society. Do women have the safety? No safety for women. And next, come on, think. It will be having impact on the marriage patterns. If girls are more means, boys can do 2 marriages, but here girls are less. So they have to compromise. So that what happen in future? Marriage patterns can be changed in our society. And next one here is, obviously for men, if they are not finding a right woman to get married, the age will be increased. If age of men is increasing, then what about next generation? Only the sperm quality and motility will be good before 32 to 35 years for males. But after that, sperm count will be decreased, motility will decrease. That will lead to infertility. They cannot reproduce next generation also in worst cases. That will overall have impact on generations on our country. Yes. And next one is there is reduced demographic share of women. Okay, so like that there will be lots of impact if we are not maintaining proper sex ratio in our country. Okay guys, now you have to think about what kind of measures we can take. So what measures we can take? What do you think? You are a collector now. There is one case study. In your district, illegal sex determination is happening at a very high, rampant level. Female feticide is happening. And many reports are coming to you that sex ratio in your district is very low. And even from PMO office also you got a letter to take immediate steps. Now tell me guys, what steps you will take to improve sex ratio in your state, in your district. In this way, you will get case study in ethics. What can be done? What will you do? Will you sit idle? You have to do something, no? Next, what will you do? Yes, we have to ensure that there should not be any illegal sex determination. That means we have to give circular to each and every diagnostic center and every hospital which is related to this gynecologist. That means gynec related hospital, we have to give strict circular that you should not reveal the sex. Okay, that is given in which act? We have PNDT Act. Okay, we have an act called as PNDT Act, so we have to give a circular. And next one here is, our government declared National Girl Child Day in 2012 on 24th January, and we are celebrating National Girl Child Day so that we are improving awareness among the society about the role of a girl child. And even government came up with a scheme called as Beti Bachao Beti Padhao. Yes, and that scheme government came up. And next one is Sabala scheme, which launched on International Women's Day in 2011. And it is focusing on self-development and empowerment of adolescent girls. And even we are improving their health and nutrition status. And next one is, you have to ensure that if there are any female feticides are going on, you have to implement stricter punishments. So like that you have to take some measures to control this kind of events in your district. And you have to, I will give you a case study on this case today. So try to answer that case study. Okay, see this next article. Give prosecution immunity to Chambal guards, says Supreme Court. Okay, if you see here, as you all know that illegal sand mining is going on this river Chambal, and in that area we have Kariyal Sanctuary, right? And that is located at Tri Junction. Which states are there in that area? MP, Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and Rajasthan, right? So we have 3 states. Okay. Now you know, if we are going for illegal sand mining, what happen? Big trucks will be moved there and they will be taking out of sand. So because of taking out of sand, what happened? That river is a freshwater river. It will become like polluted, salinity will be increased if you are going for illegal sand mining. And what happens if illegal sand mining happens? Whatever the animals which are there in that area will be getting affected. And entirely environment of that region will be getting affected. Right. So because of this, recently NGT raised voice and as well as Supreme Court raised voice, like we have to protect these areas. Okay. Now here, who are the people who are guarding in this region to prevent illegal sand mining? We have forest guards. And these forest guards, they are working in dangerous and anti-mining operations. Okay, anti-mining operations, that means they are working in a very critical situation. You know about sand mafia, how they will be like, if they talk anything and if they're stopping anything, it will be a threat to their life itself. In many movies, I think you might have seen, like if you're going against some mafia or if you're going against some illegal activities or organized crimes, obviously it will be a threat, right? So here these people are working in very dangerous and anti-mining operations. And whenever they are doing anything, so they should not hesitate that they will be coming under future any prosecutions. And now Supreme Court said that we have to, Supreme Court used this Article 142 of our Indian Constitution. What is Article 142? If Supreme Court has to give complete justice to anything, it will use this Article 142. Now Supreme Court is using this extraordinary power of Article 142 to do complete justice in any pending case, and now court said that you have to install CCTV cameras and live monitoring in this area so that we can protect this forest guards in that area. Because many a times forest guards were brutally killed by miners. Recently 2 forest guards were brutally killed in MP and as well as Rajasthan. Okay, so because of this now forest guards need to be protected. Yes or no, will you accept it or not? So if some people are like doing some favor to environment, if they want to stop anything which is happening illegally, obviously they have their threat. So now Supreme Court is saying that we have to increase protection for this forest guards, and Supreme Court is now directing state governments to install CCTV cameras and as well as live monitoring in this region, because recently 2 forest guards were brutally killed in MP and as well as Rajasthan. And now Supreme Court used this Article 142 and it is giving directions to states to protect this forest guards. So here what you have to see? You have to see about Article 142, you have to see about river chambal, you have to see about gharials. Already we discussed this article number of times. Okay, and regarding this illegal sand mining in 2019, there was a question, impact of illegal sand mining. Okay, once see that question, exactly in 2019 from environment point of view they asked a question. And this time also you may get a question on sand mining in 2027 prelims case. And see this next article, scoreboard. The CBSE was ill prepared for the examination reforms it undertook. As you all know that how many students will be applying for this NEET examination every year, any idea? Newly applied and who are writing second attempt or third attempt or first attempt. So there will be huge base. Okay. So actually this NEET examination, it is an entrance examination for medical background. So recently what happened? Paper leak happened. Do you know the story of this paper leak? Anyone? No idea. What is the story? From coaching center head, they paid some amount. How much amount? Some are saying 30 lakhs, some are saying above. So normally let us take they paid 30 lakhs and the paper got leaked. And after that, the person who paid the amount to gain money, he circulated that paper in different telegram groups, and finally what happened? He was caught. That means, is that good or not? If this kind of practices are going on in this kind of entrance examinations, what happens? What is the impact in future? Will parents and students will have trust on this so and so CBSE which is conducting this kind of examinations? Then what about the credibility of education? Credibility will be lost. And if already you know that NEET is one of the toughest examination like UPSC, students will be preparing their 100%. If this kind of things are happening, malpractice, everything, then what happened? The merit should compromise. Yes or no? The merit based education will be compromised. Then what happens? Some students will go for committing of suicides also. You know this, right? Even after 10th class results, inter results and as well as NEET results, many students they will commit even suicides also. Okay, so that means it will be having overall a huge impact on our country. That means obviously government has to take some steps to prevent this kind of incidents in future. Okay, so here because of this you have to know about this. Okay, now let us see this article clearly. Now here you have to see what are the reasons for this kind of paper leak. First one is systemic vulnerabilities in paper handling. Like paper will be set in one place, printing will be done in one place, and transportation will be done, and there will be no proper storage and distribution of physical papers. So because of this we are having lots of weak points. Either the place of printing also it may be leaked, either the place of transportation also it may be leaked, and while the distribution also it may be leaked. So because of this physical paper, there is leak which is happening. And which one is, normally we can see there will be a coaching center nexus, solvers and insiders nexus. That means nothing but communication between these all people. Obviously that happened in this case, that led to the paper leak. And next one is, sometimes there will be delayed or implementation of reforms will be not happen. Because in 2024 also this kind of leak happened. At that time in 2024 we came up with recommendations, but those recommendations had not yet been properly implemented at the ground level. And because of this in 2024 there was a question on this paper leak. And next one is, over centralization is happening. There is one agency called as NTA which is handling this massive examinations, and they are having limited accountability. And on this accountability also there is a question in 2026 prelims. Okay, and what are the reforms that we need? We have to take some steps immediately, that is nothing but short term measures, and some steps we have to take in the long term. They are called as long term measures. In short term, what we have to do? We have to focus on like chain of custody protocols. We have to implement the strong rules and regulations related to this setting of papers, transporting, printing, etc. And as well as we have to increase CCTV and biometric verification and real-time monitoring at centers and as well as papers where they get printed. And next one is, we need to have faster CBI timelines for this kind of cases to investigate the cases. We should not delay. And next one is, we need to go for implementation of Public Examination Prevention of Unfair Means Act of 2024, and we have to increase punishments. On this act, there was a question in mains in 2024 because we came up with that act in 2024 to prevent this kind of unfair means related to examinations. On this in 2024 they gave question, and 2026 this time also you may get a question because of this NEET paper leak. And next one is, in long term, what can we do? We have to go for computer based test, fully digitalized. If you are going for digitalized examination, there will be a very less chance of circulation or leak of paper. And next one is, we have to go for reforms in this NTA. We have to go for autonomous institutions with more accountability. And next one is, we have to break this NTA monopoly, and we have to use technology for better protection and better AI and as well as better data encryption, so that we can ensure that this kind of leaks cannot happen in the future. So these are the things that you have to see. And see, the next topic, it is about Rajya Sabha defections, constitutional questions. Already many times we discussed about anti-defection law. Even in yesterday's class also we discussed about horse trading. Just see that once. Okay, see these questions, guys. First one, it is about National Chambal Sanctuary. First statement is, it is a tri-state protected area shared by Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and UP. Next one is, it was established mainly for conservation of Bengal tiger. Third one is, the sanctuary is known for critically endangered gharials. Fourth one is, Chambal river is one of the least polluted rivers in India. 1, 3, 4, yes, because it is for, here itself they said gharials, Bengal tigers. Bengal tigers will be there in which area? Sundarban regions. It is in West Bengal. Okay, and in this way you will get question. And already UPSC asked question on this gharials, and as well as National Chambal Sanctuary, they asked question. National Chambal Sanctuary is famous for which of the following animal? That is gharials. And in this way also you may get a question. So you have to see PYQs, because from environment point of view you will get for sure short one question on animal species. And those animal species which is in news they may ask, and even in PYQs what they gave in options they will ask that. This time they ask about hill-log gibbons, that is there in PYQ. At least 3 times they gave about gibbons, and they asked again this time. At least if you have seen that image of that gibbons while you study this PYQs, then you can easily answer this 2026 question. Okay, I will show that in the class today itself. Okay, see this next topic, next question. Consider the following statements regarding rare earth elements. Rare earth elements are always found in pure elemental form in nature. Next one is, neodymium and dysprosium are used in permanent magnets. Rare earth elements are important for electric vehicles and wind turbines. All rare earth elements are radioactive. See the extreme words. Here they said all, is that possible? All rare earth metals are radioactive. 4 is gone. And here always is also extreme. So answer will be 2 and 3. So in this way you have to identify traps. If you are not identifying traps, then you will be falling in that trap case. You have to identify trap. There is only 2 ways. One is you have to identify trap, or else you will be falling into that trap. Okay. So always you have to choose one over another. Always you have to search which statement is wrong rather than which statement is right. That should be your strategy. Okay. That's all guys. By this I'm concluding. Thank you so much for watching. And if you like this class, please hit the like button and please share this class to your friends. And do subscribe to Rathod Science Academy. And one more thing is, we are going to launch a new batch for GS Prelims Cum Mains Foundation on June 8th guys. So if you want to join this course, please do contact us for more details. And if you want to visit our academy, you can come and visit. It is in Ashok Nagar, Hyderabad. And I wish you all the best. Thank you so much guys.